Hello, hi, welcome. It is Tuesday, and that means we are back in the land of New Britannia, something like that. For case number 4, it is, I believe, election night was where it was left off. My wife kicked us out of our house, rightfully so. Truth be told. Yeah, someone's gonna get moitered on election night. And I don't know who that is or anything yet because we basically just got there and quit. Because I didn't want to get any plot ahead of time. So, let's fire up the old GOG. And then from there, subsequently, fire up the old Lamplight City. And let's get started. It takes its sweet, sweet time launching. Good Lord, GOG. You can do it. I believe in you. GOG? Oh, for the love of... Thank you, GOG. It decided it wanted to update itself silently. There we go. Cool. Cool launcher. Cool launcher. Alright, here we go. Hitting the play button. Alright, the Alt-Tab is bad. Can't do Alt-Tab. There we go. Alright. I think... Center right? Center left? Something like that. Load game. Cast your vote. Okay.
Yeah, at least you're already registered to vote. Having to go through that bureaucratic nightmare tonight would have just added insult to injury. An ad for a brothel. At least they seem to know their audience.
Well, at least prostitution is legalized
I thought they were
here.
trying to encourage people to vote. With all these rules, it's a wonder anyone bothers. A list of fools who think their opinion will actually make a difference.
We get it, ghost or dead voice of my partner in my head. You're a libertarian. We get it. Re-elect Herbert Atwood. Citizens of New Britain, you know, a vote for Atwood is a vote for progress. The truth of the matter is that STEAM technology is a necessity in our modern lives. Prime Minister Atwood vows to fund etheric research and build a better, prosperous future for Vespuccia and its people. Don't be fooled by the lies and confusion of the ignorant masses. Bring Vespuccia into the future! Alright, what do we got over here? Leroy, okay. Citizens of New Britannia, do you want to be replaced by a machine? Have you or someone you love been injured or killed by Steam Tech? Hi, I'm John Leroy, here for Leroy and Associates. Is it hard to understand how anyone could fall for the aethericity lie? Wow, this reads like a bad propaganda or a bad conspiracy flyer. Then vote Hot Leroy, the man of the people. We find ourselves at a crossroads. Politicians and con artists are trying to play you for a fool. The true future of Vespuccia lies in the sweat of its workers. Don't fall for the lies and flights of fancy. I don't know where this accent's going. Steam Tech is not the solution. Hot Leroy will ensure that your jobs are kept and strive to create even more of them. Keep your head out of the clouds and your feet on the ground. Vote Leroy. Okay. Let's talk to the voting assistant.
Excuse me.
Yes, how may I help you?
Atwood seems quite fond of advancing steam tech, doesn't he?
That he does. He's promised to fund research of ethericity, as well as introduce more automated technology to increase production and boost Vespuccia's economy. If social progress and futurism are important to you, you'd be wise to vote for him.
Is that your official endorsement?
No, sir. Merely stating the facts.
Okay.
Leroy is really pushing this whole man of the people angle, isn't he?
Indeed. He wants to minimize the use of steam tech and ensure that people all have jobs. Leroy doesn't believe that ethericity exists, and instead wants to look into more practical energy sources. He also wants to prioritize the building of the bridge between Gascon and the Chum. I recommend taking those facts into consideration when making your choice in the booth.
Where is everybody?
I'm not sure. I was told to expect large crowds, but so far we haven't had more than about 50 people in here. The polls have only been open for a couple of hours, though. I imagine things will pick up around 8 o'clock.
Or it could just be that everyone has come to their senses and isn't wasting their time.
That's not how
I'll
this
just go
works.
cast my ballot then.
Less votes
Very
does not
good,
mean
Mr.
it doesn't
Porter.
count. God, do we actually have to vote for someone? I mean, sure, I'll vote for Atwood.
Well,
Vote for
that's taken care of.
progress!
Thankfully, the Angel isn't a polling place, so we can still have a nice quiet evening.
Wait, why are you asking to go to the Angel? That's weird. Why does she still have her marriage photo up? Portrait?
What? My head is pounding. Damn withdrawal.
Actually, I think someone's knocking at the door.
Oh, right.
Mostly cookbooks.
It's very important
Yeah,
that
at
we
least
put
you
our
won't have
coat
to worry
on.
about starving while you're staying here. Not a very inspiring piece. Hell, I could probably paint it better. Should have listened to your mother. You should have practiced. Looks like that umbrella's gotten some good use. It was quite the rainstorm we had yesterday. A lady's silhouette. Pretty sure it just means the artist wasn't talented enough to draw her for real. Some fool in a hat. I never understood the appeal of silhouette portraits. What a handsome couple. Judging by the uncanny resemblance, I'd say these are Upton's parents.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Sorry, I just had to... I shouldn't say had. I was just eating a cream egg. Those things really, suck the moisture out of your mouth. What do we got here? Hart Leroy continues election celebration. Right? So that guy won. Great. Okay. He outlined his plans, while taking blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, this guy's just anti-tech. Okay, are we just kind of using... You were the only person who voted? If I was the only person that voted, he wouldn't have won. 73% of the vote. So, okay, wow. Now, is it just me, or are we using Steam as, like, an allegory for, like, immigrants? The way that, like, your jobs are safe, your livelihoods are safe, Steam tech will not replace you. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but, okay, yeah, that's great. The Justice Killer strikes again. This is probably actually what we care about here. I will read this one. The latest victim of the serial murderer is Berkeley Cause of Cholmondeley. Cause was discovered in his apartment. Oh man, if they don't make some kind of a cause pun here, I'm gonna be mad. Cause was take 3. Cause was discovered in his apartment, killed by a single gunshot wound to the head. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Didn't we hear about this case? And the guy didn't want it? Like, we tried to give this case to, that sack of dongs, in the previous case. I don't remember his name. Mutton Chop McBad Attitude. His neighbor, Ethel Williamson, reported a domestic dispute in which she heard the gunshot. Police arrived at the scene and found Cause, along with the word "Justice" written in blood on the wall of his parlor. The Gazette has learned that each of the men found murdered previously in Cholmondeley were found in the exact same situation, contradicting the police department's previous statements that the murders were unrelated. Due to the murder's unusual displays at each crime scene, he has earned the name Justice Killer. As of this writing, there have been no established link between the victims. More on this story as it develops. Alright. Then we got a class action against the Royal Maverick. Yeah. Which is like the ongoing Legia disaster history thing. And the thing we did was rules of murder. Yeah.
Therein lies Upton's boudoir. As a matter of respect, the less said the better, I think.
Good afternoon, miss. If you're looking for Miss Upton, I'm afraid she's not in right now.
No, I've already spoken with Miss Upton. I'm looking for Mr. Miles Fordham.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm Miles Fordham. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mrs. Emily Morgan. I have a problem, you see. Miss Upton said you'd be able to help.
I suppose you'd better come in. So, what seems to be the trouble?
It's my brother, Ronan Lespay. He was murdered 4 nights ago outside a tavern in the Chum.
What a name! Ronan Lespay. Woo!
On election night?
Yes, I suppose it was.
Could you please tell me what happened?
The police took his body to the mortuary and investigated the crime scene, but they're out of ideas. I've been down there at the station every day,
Hello,
but they
Catherine.
don't seem to care enough to look into it any further. All they've been able to determine was that it wasn't a robbery, and that the clothes he was wearing weren't his.
Wait,
My
what?
brother was a good man, Mr. Fordham.
Was
he
he?
would never have willingly gone to that part of town. I need to know why he was murdered, and I want whoever did it to pay for it.
Very well, Mrs. Morgan. I'll take your case.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fordham.
I just need to know where your brother was killed, and where I might be able to contact you.
He was found outside the Silent Raven. It's on Alewife Avenue, on the west side of the Chum. Here, take this. It's a photo of Ronan. It might help your investigation. And if you need to speak with me, you can come to my husband's bakery. It's here in Worcester, at 15 Drummond Street.
Very good. I'll begin my investigation right away.
Thank you again, Mr. Fordham. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave you in the house. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
This
Okay.
case has our names written all over it. Maybe it'll be good practice for finding the man who caused my death, eh?
God, just won't let that go. Ronan Lespay. Okay. Photo of Ronan. Photograph of a young, unremarkable looking man. Oof. Alright. Oh, away we go! Mystery is afoot! Okay, there's the Raven, there's the bakery, there's Upton's apartment. Alright. Sure, let's start with the Raven. I love how they just left the chalk outline. Just fuck it.
What a mess. These advertisements are all at least 10 years out of date. It's an ad for whiskey. Or perhaps paint thinner. Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, that's true. Having drunk a fair selection of whiskeys in my time. Ironically, one of my favorite whiskeys, Bushmills. Or distillers, I should say, Bushmills. Everything that they make from like their 10-year up is phenomenal. Lovely. They're like bargain bin stuff, they're black and white label. It's paint thinner. It's awful. It is some of the worst whiskey I've ever had. And that's saying something, because I've had like Canadian whiskeys, which all suck.
To think, in an instant, a man's life can be reduced to some scribbles on the filthy pavement.
Now's not the time to get poetic, Bill.
I suppose you could do worse, as far as bar names go.
It's a really good bar name. What are you
Your
talking
mascot
about?
seems to be a raven with a glowing red eye. Is that meant to attract customers or to scare them off?
Alright. Entrada. Let's do it.
My, this grog shop looks pretty rough, even by chum standards. Let's keep a low profile while you're in here, Miles.
Alright, yeah, so maybe don't say we're a
Doesn't look
cop.
like cleaning up is high
Or
on
we're
the
a
list
cop.
of priorities around here.
Good lord, this place has seen some shit. Yikes. Ah, the knife is a nice touch.
Looks like that's where they keep the good stuff. Of course, around here, good is an extremely relative term. They don't seem to have much variety in their beer selection.
I have a coffee. Beer. Coffee. Beer. Coffee. B.
Excuse me,
Beer.
barmaid.
Hi, what do you need?
C-O-B-A. There's my nightly Simpsons reference for you.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Nah, never heard of him.
He was killed here 4 nights ago. A man in this fair type.
Oh, that one. Well, I never saw him before that night, and I didn't talk to him. You with the police or something?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to help his sister find out what happened.
So are you done with the questions? Can I get you a drink or what?
Yeah, she's a shrewd businesswoman. You at least have to give her that.
You know what? I just want to say there is a missed opportunity here with being able to get a drink and losing that guy's voice and not being able to solve crime. There's a missed opportunity here.
Were you working on election night?
Pal, I'm here most every night.
So that's a yes, then?
Christ on a cracker, you ain't too bright, are ya? Yes, I was here on election night.
There's no need to be rude about it, madam. Tell me what you know about the murder that took place outside on election night.
Listen, chum, do you know how busy we were that night?
Literally no.
This was a polling place. We had gents coming in and out for hours.
This
Not
is a
to
polling
mention
place?
regular clientele.
This?
I was up to my ass in drink orders and was running the shift all by myself. Had to break up God knows how many fights, too. So you'll excuse me if I didn't exactly notice something that happened out on the street.
Did you at least hear the gunshot?
No, I didn't. You try distinguishing a gunshot over a room full of rowdy voters. It ain't gonna happen.
I'm actually most upset by the pronunciation of ass being so uncomfortable there. Just like, you know, all these things, ass. Like, she didn't lean into the ass. It's unfortunate.
What can you tell me about this place?
It's a bar. People come here to drink. Sometimes people drink too much, and then they're sick all over. I get the honor of cleaning up the mess.
Yeah, been
Sounds
there.
like you're not too pleased with your job.
I never said that. There may be rough days, but there's a lot worse. I could
I'm a
do.
weird vomit
Here I get a
pervert,
place
so
to sleep and a bit to eat and a few coins in my pocket if the customers are pleased. And you are pleased, ain't you, sir?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course I am.
Good.
You mentioned regular clientele. Who are they?
Oh, we get plenty of regulars in here, too many to name.
Which of them were here on election night?
Let me think. I remember seeing 3 of the usual crowd. There was Darius, up to no good as always. Then there was Singin' Tom, but he wasn't around for too long. And how could I forget old Cormac? He'd have talked my ear off if I'd let him.
Sound like an interesting bunch of
Cormac
folks.
and Jalad at Tanagra.
Where might I find the landlord?
You won't find him anywhere. He doesn't come around here more than once a month.
What can you tell me about Darius?
Hey now, bucko. You've come in here asking me all these questions, but I ain't seen nothing from you. You want more information? You're gonna have to earn it.
Right. Give me a gin, then.
Coming right up.
Don't get carried away now, Miles.
There you are. 1 gin. That'll be 2 shillings.
There's 3. Now then, about Darius.
Now that man is trouble.
Sorry, I just
I've
love
had
the
to
idea of
throw him
like,
out a few
Dank, I'll take the
times.
gin. Here's the
Why
3
do you say
coins.
he's trouble?
Drop gin on floor.
His mind
Now where were
affected
we?
by the pox seed. He can be gentle as a kitten or fly into a rage at a moment's
Okay,
notice.
so he's an
When he
opiate
gets
user.
rowdy, he gets chucked.
I see. Any idea where I might be able to find him?
Don't know why you'd want to find him, but I hear he spends his day at a smokehouse nearby. I believe it's on Crisparkle Lane. Just look for
Crisparkle
the door
Lane?
with the oriental symbols above it.
And could you describe him to me?
He's a rough-looking sort, about 55 years old, has a scar on his left cheek, grayish hair, medium build.
Excellent. Thank you.
Shockingly good description. Alright.
Who is Singing Tom?
Ah, Tom. Not sure what his surname is, but he's in here about twice a week. We call him Singin' Tom because he leads the church choir.
Is that right? Which church?
Oh, I haven't a clue. Never really cared to ask.
Does he associate with any of the other regulars?
I've seen him talking with Darius a few times. They seem to be on friendly terms.
How convenient.
Tell me about Cormac.
He's in here most every night. Doesn't speak to many people, just me. And a right chatterbox he is, too. Between you and me, Cormac stinks. I can understand why he doesn't keep much company.
He stinks?
Aye, he's a sewer worker. Spends all his day underground
A
in the
literal
vault,
stink,
so he
not
always
a metaphorical
smells like
stink.
I see. Any idea where specifically he works?
shit. I believe he's at the treatment station, over near the ferry terminal.
Fantastic.
This is going where I think it is, then I'm especially glad I can't smell anything anymore.
Have you worked here long?
13 years.
I see.
Fuck, that's a
Anything
long
else you
time
can
to
tell
work
me
in a
about
bar.
yourself?
I ain't the friendly type.
Right. Understood. Any thoughts on the election?
Nah, couldn't care less, really. Doesn't matter who's in charge. My life ain't getting any better.
But it can certainly get worse with Leroy in office.
We'll see.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Don't you start getting
Yeah.
political. We're just here to solve murders. I don't need your leftist dogma. Alright. Where do we want to go next? Go, that's a very unfortunate icon. Let's just chase down the opium den. Why not?
I wonder how many layers of advertisements you'd have to cut through before getting to the wall. Crisparkle Lane. Nothing crisp or sparkly about it. I can't make heads or tails of it, but I'll bet you 10 crowns it doesn't say welcome.
Alright.
Yes? What do you want?
I'm looking for a man named Darius. I believe he may be inside.
Yeah, I don't know anybody with that name. So, if that's all you wanted,
This seems like a bad, stupid idea. Open up in the name of the law? Yes, let's tell the opium den that. Let's do that. That seems smart.
Might I come in, please?
this is private property, and I don't know you, so no.
Nothing.
Okay, we'll come back to that, perhaps. Poops McGee can probably tell me how to get a contact him. Ooh, boy.
So this is what it's come to, eh? Braving the stench of human waste in hopes of finding a lead. Just make sure you stay
Angry
away from the
robot.
edge. Handy to know where you are. But why would anyone actually travel around the city this way? Some sort of
so they
water
don't want to be
treatment device
seen?
would be my guess. For all I know, it could just be a fancy boiler for tea. Another mysterious device. I was happier not knowing all this went on after I used the commode. Another mysterious machine. Who knew dealing with human waste involved so much technology? I hope those aren't full of what I think. While you could use a bath, I don't think this is the right place to take a dip.
Anything else to look at? No. Alright. Hello.
Beg your pardon, sir.
What? Who are you? What are you doing down here?
My name's Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a sewer worker by the name of Cormac.
We needn't look no further. But what is this about?
I just have a few questions for you.
All right. Cormac will answer them, but don't dally for too long.
Oh,
It
good.
can be dangerous down here for anyone who's not trained as Cormac is.
Third person who talks in the third person. Fantastic.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Cormac knows few men. People don't much like talking to a man who spends his days in the sewers. Can't really blame him for it. It's hard to get a stink off, so why bother even trying?
You didn't answer my question, though. Do you know Ronan Lespay or not?
Could you describe him? Cormac's got a better memory for faces than for names.
I have his portrait. Here, have a look.
Ah, yes. Cormac saw this fellow recently.
On election night?
That's right. He come into the bar, voted, went out. Looked drunk to Cormac, but then everyone at that place usually is.
Why the third person? It is such a weird character
Do you
choice.
frequent a pub called the Silent Raven?
Yes. The Raven is where Cormac goes to forget about the day's work. The barmaid, Nicole, she's a good sort. We likes talking about the ponies down at the track. Nikki loves her some racing.
Oh, I.
She gives Cormac drinks for cheap in exchange for odd jobs. Nice to have your own personal sewer man, I suppose. She's really the only one Cormac talks to. There's a few others Cormac sees often, but Cormac hasn't spoken with them.
Ripes. This guy goes on and on, doesn't he? To be fair, you were warned.
Do you know anything about the murder that took place outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Ah, yes. The commotion out in the alley.
Ah, yes, the commotion.
That's right. Did you see or hear anything?
It was a touch noisy that night, what with all the election stuff happening, but Cormac remembers the sound of the gun. One shot, and then shouting and hollering from the bar. A few people run outside to look at what happened, but Cormac just stayed in his seat and finished his whiskey.
So you didn't see the man who was shot, or who shot him?
Nar, keeps to himself, Cormac.
Nar.
Makes life easier that way.
But he
I'm a sewer pirate,
Actually, it's
hi.
probably best not to find him.
Is it difficult being a sewer worker?
Difficult? Nah, it's a dream. Especially since they introduced all these steam tech treatments and purification whatsits. The only thing Cormac's got to do is check the little dial never goes into the red on old Belinda.
Belinda?
Aye, the purifier. She's a real special lady who's made Cormac's life so much brighter. Cormac makes sure to thank her each and every day.
Wonderful. We're talking to a lunatic.
Wasn't so easy a few years ago. Back then it was tapping on pipes all day.
Tapping on pipes?
To make sure they was flowing fine and not blocked. Cormac would take his little hammer and tap, tap, tap on the pipes to make sure they was ringing fine.
Huh.
You can imagine what that was like. Tap, tap, tap. Ring, ring, ring. All day, up and down, over and over. The tapping stopped, but the ringing never left. Still hears it to this day,
Tappa,
Cormac
tappa,
does.
tappa. I've already done my Simpsons reference. Can't you give us a little bit more instruction than tappa, tappa, tappa? Young lady, I was, what was it? I was tapping secret messages to the Allies during the war. I would have killed for tappa, tappa, tappa.
Do you have any opinions regarding the election?
Cormac hears lots of things about Atwood, but he's the one what's got this new machinery put into the sewer system. There's still a job for Cormac, so all that talk about being replaced by machines is just talk, for now. But Leroy says he wants to give the workers their fair chance, so Cormac can't argue with that. What about you?
I would have preferred Atwood stay in office myself.
Bah, they's all the same in the end, one way or another. No point worrying, says old Cormac.
I'll let you return to your work.
What if I could have just not voted? Hi, I love your bakery. I smell like shit.
All right, Mr. Chavez. The cake and muffins come to a total of 6 crowns, 10 shillings.
There you are, Mrs. Morgan. And thank you again. Barbara is going to love this.
My pleasure. Enjoy.
Pardon me, sir.
Hey. I remember. Appreciate the raid. How you doing?
Enjoy them. The cow. Ah, Mr. Fordham.
Ooh, hold on.
Thank
What was
you,
that
Mr.
about? Sorry, there's just a little bit of sass coming off this woman.
Those look
Let's
nice. but given the
investigate all the
choice,
things.
I'll always side with pie over cake.
I would agree.
Those look nice, but given the choice, a bunch of assorted baking products. Don't waste your time with those, Miles. We've got a murder to solve.
Would you tell me how to live my
The stuff
goddamn
in
life?
that day-old box doesn't look half bad. More like 3/4 bad.
Jesus.
I never had much of a sweet tooth, but even I'd consider buying some of this stuff. You know, if I was still alive. Minor detail, I know. A very wise man once told me, never go poking around the back rooms of bakeries. I think you'd do well to heed that advice.
That's weirdly specific, but alright.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Ronan was the best brother anyone could have asked for. He took care of me after our parents died. Carriage accident. I was only 9 and he was 13. Ronan went out and found work and managed to support the both of us. He was just a child himself, but he kept us out of the gutter. Or worse, the workhouse.
How did you hear of his death?
Ronan comes by to visit me every day after he finishes work. When he didn't come for 2 days in a row, I got worried. I went to his apartment, but he wasn't there. So I made a report to the police. Yesterday, they contacted me and asked me to come to the mortuary.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss, Mrs. Morgan.
Thank you.
She's actually got tears.
Please,
It's a nice
find
addition.
whoever did this to him. Ronan deserved so much better.
What do you know about your brother's murder?
Only what the police told me. He was shot at close range outside that pub in the Chum. Nothing was missing, and his wallet had money in it, so they said it wasn't a robbery. I didn't recognize the clothes he was wearing. I had never seen them before, and they were far too big for him. I still can't believe he's gone. He was the only family I had left.
Dr. Edwards at the mortuary might be able to give us some more detailed information. The only thing we'll get out of this one is more tears.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of life did Ronan lead?
You know, just normal. He'd go to work, come
Don't
visit
even know
me
what normal is
afterwards,
anymore.
and go home. He didn't have much of a social life. At least he never mentioned any friends to me. I always hoped Ronan would meet a nice girl to settle down with, but he was so shy, you know?
Where did Ronan work?
At the Grips Home Taxidermy Shop in Gascon.
Of course he
I
did.
always thought it was rather macabre work, but he enjoyed it. Bit lonely, though.
Can you give me the address of Ronan's apartment?
It's at 1172 Bushmill Street. I have a spare key.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
Cool.
So,
Glad we don't
Mrs.
have to
Baker,
solve another boiler
My
puzzle.
husband Gerald and I have had it for almost 10 years.
Is it just the two of you? Do you have any children?
Alas, no. Some extra hands would be most welcome in the kitchen, but we haven't yet been blessed. It's such a shame that Ronan never got to be an uncle.
What are your thoughts on the outcome of the election?
Oh, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. It hardly seems to matter now.
Yes, of course. My apologies for bringing it up. Those are all the
I feel like I
questions
should
have
stop
for you.
asking about the election
Alright,
because that's going
Mr.
to piss
Foreman.
somebody off. Okay, so police station, his apartment. Let's go to the apartment first.
Quite the collection of exotic items in here.
Indeed.
Ronan appears to be a seasoned world traveler.
Or
Or
at least
collector.
knows someone who is.
Hmm.
Just looking at this painting is making me feel seasick. This mask looks African. You should try it on. It'd be an improvement. Some kind of owl mask. The hair looks incredibly familiar. This one is scarier than the other masks. Wait a moment. I think I saw something shiny in the back of the mouth.
Yep. Give me that key.
How about that? A perfect hiding place for a key.
Conspicuous book.
Ronan's book collection mostly consists of cheap pulp adventure novels, but this top shelf looks interesting.
Alright, let's learn some stuff. Black Rhino. An adult black rhino stands 1.5 to 1.75 meters high at the shoulder and is 3.5 to 3.9 meters in length. An adult weighs from 850 to 1600 kilograms, exceptionally to 1800 kilograms, with the females being smaller than the males. The elephant. In African elephants, males stand 3.2 to 4 meters tall at the shoulder and weigh 4,700 to 6,048 kilograms, while females stand 2.2 to 2.6 meters tall and weigh somewhere in the vicinity of 2,160 to 3,232 kilograms. I don't know. Cyclotis is smaller with the male shoulder heads. Okay, cool. A strange cross between a rabbit and a donkey. The what? Hold on. What? I have never looked at a kangaroo and thought, look at that fucking donkey rabbit. What? That's a wild text right there. The kangaroo is a marsupial, which is to say it has a pouch where its young reside until reaching maturity. The kangaroo is herbivorous and travels by hopping on its powerful hind legs. A donkey rabbit. Yeah. Also, hey, T3. Haven't seen you in a grip, but yes, you did hear that. The opens with a strange cross between a rabbit and a donkey. None of that part of the sentence is true. It's distinctly untrue. Koalas may appear at first glance to be small bears, but are in fact marsupials. Like the kangaroo, baby koalas spend their first few years inside their mother's pouch. Koalas sleep many hours in the day and feed primarily on the leaves of the eucalyptus tree. Okay. We got her here.
It's in another language, but it appears to be a Bible.
Okay.
No title, and it appears to be blank. I wonder if Ronan just kept empty books on his shelf to appear well read.
Secret Customs of the Orient. Oh boy. You must be aware, dear reader, that the customs of the Orient differ greatly from our own. Oh boy. This is a problematic book. You would do well to familiarize yourself not only with the common ones, but the more obscure and clandestine ones as well, lest you offend anyone on your travels. Hi, school is banned and paying, special exams come up, so I figured I'd check it on you and see how I'm prepared. I'm doing alright. I have become an affiliate since last time you were here. I also got COVID. The whole family did. We're all fine, thankfully. Literally, I don't think anything else exciting has happened. So, those are like the two big things, I think. Congrats, well, thank you. Opium use. At the turn of the century, travels to the Orient would often seek out the more exotic pleasures, which is to say, opium. Nowadays, the influx of immigrants from China to Vespuccia has caused a significant drop in this type of tourism, as many opium dens have appeared in El Presidio, with some even known to exist as far as New Britannia. In any case, opium dens are open to all who seek to indulge, known colloquially as riding the dragon. That, well, okay. The use of opium recreationally for relaxation or as a social activity is a common pastime. Okay. Baiju. If you are offered wine, make sure you understand what exactly it is you're about to drink. Chances are it might be baiju, a clear liquid usually distilled from fermented sorghum, although other grains may be used. Southern China versions may employ glutinous rice, while northern Chinese varieties may use wheat, barley, millet, or even job steers, I don't know what that is, instead of sorghum. The jikui starter culture used in the production of baiju mash is usually made of pulverized wheat grains. As a foreigner, drinking baiju may be a shocking experience. So, is this just rice wine? I might be simplifying. It has been known to be used as a way of proving oneself in a group. The high concentration of alcohol is often too much for anyone not used to it. To exercise caution, the last thing you want is to end up face down in a back alley. Okay, well. Let's see, nothing's changed much for me either. Professor decided to stop marking where an error was in our work, stating that all work after that should be incorrect. What? 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 Your professor sounds like a dick. Your professor, actually, that just sounds incredibly lazy. That sounds like a tenured professor, if I had to make a guess. Okay, so super booze and opium. Okay. Alright, let's crack this desk open.
Now to find out what Mr. Lespay finds so precious.
The port number for Radius was the old port number, but it didn't tell us to change it. Okay. So when I troubleshooted and figured out the updates that worked, I didn't get the marks because I didn't show that I fixed the port number. What the your teacher sounds like
Ooh, this teacup
yeah, a
could
dick.
use a
I'm gonna
wash.
go with my original
I'd be surprised
assessment.
if it isn't permanently stuck to the desk. They appear to be a pair of letters from Ronan's landlord. It's empty. Too bad.
Ooh.
A letter from someone called Jimbo?
Ronan, next week will be a year since we met. I can honestly say my life has changed for the better in every possible way, and I will always hold July 8th as a special day in my heart. I can't wait to see you again, Jimbo. Oh,
This one
nice.
appears to be from Emily. A model of the SS Joondalup. Looks like a merchant vessel to
Joondalup.
me.
Okay.
Looks like you found Ronan's journal. Perhaps this will be able to give us some more insight into what he was up to before he died.
Okay. Read. Okay, well, read the entry from, yeah.
There are 2 entries, one from this year and one from last.
So, start with last year's.
July 8th, 1843. I've decided I need to get out more, so I'm going to a club in Gascon tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Stuffing animals has taken its toll, and I need to talk to someone who isn't Emily or my coworkers.
There.
Gerald told me about a place called the Crimson Cat. I'll try it, and if I don't enjoy myself, I'll just come home. Now for this year's entry. July 8th, 1844. Today is our 1-year anniversary. We're going to meet at the Cat again. I love him, but I wish he wasn't so attached to that place. Emily is so nosy, I worry that she might follow me and discover the truth about Jimbo. If we moved around, I wouldn't worry, but with him, it's always the Crimson Cat. I really shouldn't complain, though. What we have is something truly special.
Well, it seems that our
Oh,
best
please
hope
don't
of
tell me
finding
it
this
was a hate
Jimbo
crime.
character is to visit the Crimson Cat.
Oh boy. So, also we're supposed to do some WP cracking, WP2 cracking as well as web crack. Okay. Attempt to attack a network. You need special wireless cards for it, and because everyone was just notified at the beginning of the semester, everyone had to purchase their cards right then and there. So the professor gave a 2-week extension, but some people still didn't get their cards in because the delivery times are awful with Amazon right now. And they docked all the marks because they couldn't get the equipment to the lab. Whoa. If it's any consolation, T3, it sounds like you and number of people in your class have grounds for contesting, like, a bunch of stuff. So there's that.
It's March 11th, 1844. I must have eaten.
Probably best to...
Agreed. November 9th, 1843. I have an uneasy feeling of dread today. Last night I had a frightening dream where fire rained from the sky. I'm just going to focus on my work today.
Okay.
October 21st, 1843. The air is...
Sorry, I'm just reading through these quick.
June 17th, 1843. Stuffing it was quite a challenge as the organ. I think October 21st. I don't think...
Alright. I'm talking about a coordinator said there's nothing they can do because it's up to the professor to mark. Nah. You could definitely bring the professor up if enough people
Ronan
were to
wasn't too
complain.
concerned with comfort, apparently. This is hardly bigger than a bunk at sea. I had an illustration that looked similar to that one. I wonder where it ended up. I guess Ronan won't be realizing his world travel dreams now. Death really has a way of messing up your plans.
Oh my god, I get it. God, there's so many places to visit. This is absurd. Okay. Let's go to his job.
Hello, and welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please let me know if I can be of service.
Boy, whoa.
Is that supposed to be a lion? I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base.
Only who can prevent forest fires?
Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
It really reminds me of the Portal, although Portal had way more lines. Yeah. Well, so, okay. T3, this is your first time going to be in here. So, this is us, Miles. And that other voice you heard is either a voice in our head or literally the ghost of our dead partner who haunts us. So, it's either some kind of weird psychotic thing or we're literally haunted. We don't really know.
Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Yeah, there is. Click that button.
Welcome to the Gripsome Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your taxidermy needs. Just a reminder, we stuff animals only.
I like how that's also Joey. I love how that voice actor is all over this damn game in like the best roles. And yes, that is a bad taxidermy lion. Absolutely it is.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia.
Okay, let's talk to Clerk.
I was wondering
Clerk.
if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
Oh, it's bad taxidermy line over there. Sorry, what do you mean? The Crimson Oh, we were gonna call it Crimson Castles.
I was told Ronan.
Wow, you are a
works
pale
here.
man.
You know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
That's fair.
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get.
Says
some information.
us.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Hold on. I need to click that link. You've piqued my interest here. Oh wow! Holy shit! Oh boy! Look at that thing. Wowzers, Bowsers. Whoo! Alright, I'm absolutely gonna read that later. Wow! Alright. That's a good deep cut.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out. Do you know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much, or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Okay, so, can you see why I immediately recognize it? I'm going to say yes, but also, why the hell do you know about the Grissom Castle lion head? Like, yes, you recognize it, but that is such a weirdly specific piece of knowledge to be able to recognize a pixelated version of it. I'm happy you recognize it and that you could expand my and everyone else's trivia knowledge with
Tell me
that,
about the
but
strange man you saw.
At the
such a
time, I
weird
didn't
fucking
think
thing.
much of him. But the more I recall, the more I realized he was being very suspicious.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building.
Probably
it was
Jimbo.
as though he was waiting for someone.
It was probably
Do
Jimbo.
you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some things. He was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer or a dock worker. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap. I'm sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your
That
help.
okay, that might track. I used to follow bad taxidermy Tumblr.
Anything you can tell me about the
The
shop?
internet sometimes
Plenty.
it's a
This
great
is
place.
New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts.
Well,
Just take a look at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are 2 of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
no, more like a
Yes,
hollow mockery of
fascinating.
life.
Moving on.
The existence of bad taxidermy Tumblr was both very surprising and also not surprising. Yeah, that is extremely like someone saying bad taxidermy Tumblr. I just kind of nod. Like, yeah, why not? Of course, there was a bad taxidermy Tumblr. Of course.
So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the Gazette for a clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
I'm just not going to ask about the election.
Thank you for your help.
I'm here to serve.
All right.
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore.
All right. Let's go look at a dead body.
I was beginning to wonder when you'd show up.
Well, wonder no longer. I'm here and I need to see Dr. Edwards.
Oh, I see how it is. He helped you solve a case, and now you don't have time for us lowly front desk clerks.
That's just the way it goes, Upton. Maybe next time you should pick a nicer coffee house.
Right. You know the way. Snelling isn't in today, so you're all clear.
Well, that's a relief. Thanks, Upton.
Sure. We'll talk to her after. Ah, you weirdo. I don't need to look at everything. We did all this already. Last
I
case.
hope I'm not interrupting anything, Edwards.
Ah, Fordham. Always a pleasure.
Have you got time for some questions?
Of course.
So what can you tell me about Ronan Lespay?
Caucasian male, approximately 27 years old. Died of blood loss as a result of being shot at close range. He was brought in 4 nights ago. I performed the postmortem the following day. After that, his next of kin was contacted. I believe his sister came to identify the body.
This guy's got a
Personal
fucking
opinions on what might have
fantastic
happened?
memory.
Well, the fact he was shot at such a close range would suggest it was done by someone he knew. And robbery doesn't appear to be a motive, since his wallet was found on the body with money in it. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Better, I hope.
Did the postmortem reveal anything?
Quite a few things, actually. Mr. Lespay was extremely inebriated when the shooting took place. There was enough alcohol in his blood to presume he had been drinking for hours before his death. I also managed to remove the bullet from his heart. It's a .36 caliber lead ball, standard revolver shot. It shouldn't be too hard to match to a weapon, provided you can find it.
Okay.
Did you notice anything unusual about the clothes Mr. Lespay was wearing?
Unusual? Not really. They seemed a bit big for him, but that's all.
His sister seemed convinced that they didn't belong to him.
That's a distinct possibility, but I couldn't say for sure. He could have just been a sloppy dresser.
So no murder weapons been found?
That's right. Either the killer still has it, or the police just overlooked it. If you happen across any weapons in your investigation, be sure to bring them to me.
I saw a
can
knife
tell
in a
you if it
table. Does that
matches the
count?
bullet.
Thank you, Edwards. I'll be on the lookout. How's the coroner business?
Things have been pretty dead around here lately.
God
Don't
damn
quit
it.
your day job, Edwards.
God damn it.
I'll be going now.
Take care, Ford. And remember, not everyone gets to leave the morgue alive. So consider...
Good lord. Alright.
Prime Minister Atwood, watching over the department with his won't be long before this gets taken down. Let's hope the... I don't think I've ever seen anyone reading those books. The old Jack and Stars. Sure was nice when that sign didn't apply to us. Pretty sure that connects Upton to everyone on the police network, including Giles at the jail. Lucky her.
You like that guy?
Can we talk for a moment?
I do
Certainly.
really like
What's on
that
your
character. The coroner is a great character.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Ronan Lespay, would you?
Probably nothing more than you already know. His body is in the mortuary, and the reason for his murder is unknown. I suggest you speak with Dr. Edwards.
Did that.
How are things with you?
Better than last week, but plenty of feathers still ruffled around here.
What happened?
You have to ask. Snelling was not happy with you turning up at the Latham crime scene. It was a right inquisition around here. Snelling going around to interrogate everyone, trying to ferret out a leak.
So he suspects.
I'm afraid so. I managed to calm him down some and divert suspicion. He thinks someone on the force is speaking to the Gazette, not to you directly.
Well, that's some kind of relief. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, don't worry about me. Well, maybe worry about me a little.
Would you happen to have any information on the opium den in Chumley?
I know there is one, but that's about it. The department doesn't have the manpower to bother keeping files on that sort of establishment.
So no idea how one might get inside.
I'm afraid not. Those places are very hush-hush about their activities.
Yeah, we're gonna need
They're
like
almost
a
like exclusive high society
password
clubs
or
in their own seedy way.
you know, something along those
Interesting
lines.
observation. I think I'll keep that in mind.
Alright, just gotta check something here. Alright, cool. Nope. There we go.
Upton, I need you to put out a bulletin. There's someone I need found.
Oh, who's that?
I don't know his name. I only have a description.
All right, I'll need to ask you a few questions. Could you describe the man's height and build?
Oh, we're really gonna do this? Was he tall and large? Or was he short and stocky? I actually don't remember. I think tall and large. I know it wasn't average and medium. Yeah, big.
He's tall, with a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
I think it was brown. He had black hat. He had like black clothing. I don't think he had black hair. Crap. Oh, I'm gonna trust my gut.
I'm sure it's brown.
All right.
I was told he was dressed all in black.
I see.
I'm assuming I'll be able to
Alright,
change that bulletin.
Thanks, Upton.
Alright, let's just go correct that one. If we can.
I was... Of course.
Nope,
Thank
never
you.
mind. Well, we'll have to just give hope. Yeah, you know, we're just gonna have to hope. Alright, to the Crimson Cat. Wait, we've been here. I remember this place.
This place has been around for quite some time. That... Call me old-fashioned.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Oh, huh.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
Okay, so he probably has black hair. Just saying.
You know Ronan the Spey?
I knew him, yeah.
Knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms. He made it very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
Why?
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
Why was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes, Ronan and I were a couple. At least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
Damn.
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
I'm a sailor.
Yeah, he's pretty well and cooled off now. You're right.
You're supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwell.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Alright, maybe we should cancel the APB.
Can we talk?
Certainly.
Can I try giving you that?
Sure. Could.
Oh, god damn it.
Let's talk. I'm not.
This really isn't my.
Okay, let's just do that.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm sure we can use that to actually find someone of interest, but for now. Alright, so what do we gotta do? Investigate Roland Lespay's murder site. So we've still got something to do there. Find Darius at the Opium Den. Right. And then speak to Dr. Edwards about the murder. Okay, so did that. So we visited all the places thus far. So let's go back here.
To think, in an instant, a man's life.
Now's not the time to.
To think.
Anything else?
Now.
Ah, a drain.
Yesterday's rain has made the water level rise significantly. Is it just me, or does it look like there's something resting at the bottom of the drain?
If there is, I have no way of getting to it through the drain cover.
All right. To the poop tunnels.
Moment of.
Right.
I wonder if you could tell me if you saw a man of this description at the Silent Raven on election night. He's tall, strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Oh, hi. Cormac remembers seeing a fella like that.
Of course.
What's he doing?
Kept going in and out of the bar. When he was inside, he stood near the voting booths, hardly moving a muscle.
And when he was outside?
That, Cormac couldn't say.
Did you notice anything else about him?
Yes, Cormac noticed him come in and speak with Nicole, the barmaid, after the commotion outside.
Is that right? That's very interesting. I'll let you return to your work.
Be mindful on your way out.
Okay, back to the bar. We have no other good leads right now.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Information.
I was given the physical description of a man. I was wondering if you might recognize him if I told you.
Perhaps. Go on, then.
He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Bit vague, wouldn't you say? That covers about half our clientele.
I was afraid that might be the case. Did you notice anyone of that description here on election night?
No. Can't say I did, sorry.
Is that right? Because Cormac told me he saw you speaking with someone of that description shortly after the murder occurred.
And you believed him? Cormac's a good sort, but he's not exactly reliable.
I disagree.
I'd say he's twice as reliable as you are. Now tell me the truth,
Aw,
or I'll
snap.
have you in as an accomplice to murder.
All right, relax. I don't know the man by name, but he came to me after the commotion outside and paid me a few crowns to keep my mouth shut about it. I didn't ask any more questions, and I wasn't about to refuse some extra cash. That was that, I swear.
That's not good enough. I need some way to find this man. Is there anything else you can tell me?
What color's his hair?
I did notice he had a scar on his left cheek.
Oh, like
Kinda
Darius?
looked like a shepherd's crook. But that's all, really.
Suppose that'll
Okay.
have to do. I appreciate you taking the time to
God,
chat.
what the hell is his hair color? I didn't know I was going to be building a composite fucking description of this guy to put on an APB.
Can we talk?
Certainly.
Can I try giving...
Sure. Could you just...
Tall and
He's
large.
tall.
All right.
And whose fault is that? Listen, you. I don't need to be sassed. Wait, has the hair color actually been given to us? Like, has it... Because I don't know, I feel like I would retain that passively, having played enough adventure games at this point. Because we know his build, we knew about the mutton chops in the hat, we know about the scar now. Did they actually give us a hair color? I don't recall. Stick it brown
sure
for
it's-
now.
Yes, he has a scar.
Good. All right.
Alright, let's see if that does
All
anything.
right.
Thanks, up.
I bet you needed the scar. The hair might still matter. So we've got the water level. We don't know what to do with that yet. Talk to Edward. Other detail we don't have yet. Yeah. Alright, let's talk to Edwards again. I guess about the murder. Hail, well, that steampunk murder guy.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have whatever detail it is about the murder yet. Alright. Can I talk to you, sort of goth
Time for
pastry
a few
woman?
more questions, Mrs.
Yes.
Are you familiar with someone who goes by the name Jimbo?
No.
A friend of...
No. As I told you, I didn't know Ronan to have any friends. I especially don't recall.
Those are all the questions.
All right.
Yeah, alright. Useless. Ah, here we
I was
go.
told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Ah. Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
There we go.
Poor
Ah,
horse.
hell yeah.
That
This
fellow in
place
the
has
armor must have
appropriated
weighed a
all
ton.
kinds of culture.
They're really dedicated to their theme in here, aren't they? Fancy. At least they provide their clients with some measure of privacy. She's not going to be much help right now. Best not to bother her. Now I see why they call it riding the dragon.
Because they have fucking, like, dragon-themed pipes? Good lord. Somebody thought that was a good idea.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand if that's all right.
Your Irish accent's as bad as mine.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze. But will a caged bird sing? That
Oh,
is the
are you
truth.
supposed to be Scottish?
Wonderful. He's as high as a kite.
Good
This is
lord.
going to be worse than pulling teeth.
Thank you, Eno, for that. Alright. I really gotta get a timer. It's interesting that people have all gone for the Irish as opposed to the Scottish, but that's fine. Right, well, okay, well, here we go. Ronan
Are
Spy.
you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
I know
Spay,
many
sorry.
men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor.
Good
Some
lord.
I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's
Oh my
useless, isn't
God.
he? Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
It probably is, but... Sorry. Probably is. Gotta remember that. I need a little indicator or something to show up on the screen. Tell us about the murder.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. A man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making a noise, but then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Yeah,
Did
I
you see
can't.
or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all.
I
Assuming
seriously
he's
can't tell what kind of accent this guy's
Does the name
supposed to be
Priscilla mean
going for.
anything to you?
Is he
Afraid
supposed to
not, young
be
man.
Irish or he's supposed to be Scottish? I legitimately, I can't tell.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Ah, the Raven.
Oh, the Raven.
My
home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
That was a good play.
Do you have many friends there?
Alright.
People you speak
That was a
with
good
often?
play.
Yes.
God, staying in this accent's hard when I'm focusing on
anyway, but
what people are
really,
saying now.
What is a friend? Someone who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends? My father used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now. So what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
This guy's kind of a pain in the ass to listen to. He's saying a lot of stuff without saying much of anything. Also, maybe he's supposed to be like a noof or something. I don't know. His accent's rough. I can't place it.
You ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom? You mean old Tom Puffin?
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
In here, not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he...
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
Does Newfoundland exist in this world? I mean, it's possible, right? Like, in this particular case, this world, in this universe, America never, like, abdicated for, or is that the word? Abdicated, from Britain, and, I mean, Canada was founded by them as well, so, I mean, stands to reason there might very well be a Newfoundland. Don't think he's talking Newfoundlandese? I don't know.
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh, yes. This place is better than any doctor or hospital. It has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are. Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
Speak for yourself.
But spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he
There
took
we
it
go.
off for just a moment.
I mean,
his
sorry,
hair
there we go.
Was bright red.
Oh,
How is
great.
that strange, exactly?
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen. Until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see.
Good lord.
Well, thank you
This
for the
man's giving us
information.
all kinds of useful information.
This
Fuck
testimony
me.
is about as useful as a hole in the head. Then again, there might be something to
You just gave us loads of good information there. Anyways, I don't believe he's talking to these. I believe the term is fucked right off. After hearing two Newfies screaming drunkenly at each other in downtown Kitchener, and one of them being like, I hate when you're drunk because I can't understand your Newfoundlandese, and I've used that word ever since. The old you can't pick the right color before you know it trick.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man.
Well, say, hey,
May you
at least
find
that
peace
means it
and-
wasn't me not paying attention. The detail was not given to us ahead of time. Now we can probably get a really good APB. I think that's all the details.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly.
Also, has it been 5 minutes yet? I forgot to set a timer.
Can I try giving you that description again? I may have more details now.
Sure. More details will definitely help. Could you describe the man's height and build?
He was tall and large.
With a large build.
All right. What color is his hair?
Red.
I'm certain it's red.
All right.
Alright, so the scar on his left cheek.
The scar on his left cheek in the shape of a shepherd's crook.
Good. All right,
There we go.
All right.
Upton? Just got you bulleted.
Hello, Giles. Have you got something for me?
As a matter of fact, I've got someone in the jail fitting your description perfectly.
You don't say.
Yup. Name's Harvey Presser. Got picked up a couple of days ago.
Thank you, Giles. You heard the man, Fordham. You've got yourself someone to interrogate over at Bow Street.
Hooray! It's definitely been 5 minutes. Double hooray! Okay, so that's the church. That's the... Like, this guy seems like the obvious thing.
Fordham? You look even worse than the last time I saw you.
We can't all manage to keep
Shut
looking
up,
as
you
good as
piece
you,
of
Giles.
shit.
What brings you back?
I'm looking to speak with your prisoner.
Presser? I just got off the horn with Upton about him. Seems you're not the only one interested in finding the man.
Then I suppose it's lucky I got here first.
Suppose so.
What was he brought in for, exactly?
He's the suspected leader of a cooping gang.
Fuck
Makes
is
me
that?
glad I didn't bother to vote. All those dirty politics are just a waste of
Someone
time.
explain to me what a cooping gang
I
is?
wonder why nothing in Parliament ever changes.
Harvey Presser, I presume.
Who's asking?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
What do you want from me?
Just a few minutes of your time. You don't have anywhere to be, do you?
Hardy ha. Ask what you want, but I'm not answering anything until I see a lawyer.
Wow. 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 Let's just soak this in for a minute. Woof. 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 Mutton chops are disturbing. Your hair is like mine halfway through COVID. But I will say, crisp jacket and sweater setup. All of this I really dig. Cooping was a form of electoral fraud in the United States by which citizens were kidnapped off the street, forced to vote, and often several times over for election candidate. Huh. Neat.
Do you recognize the man in this ferrotype?
Should I?
His name is Ronan Lespay. He was shot outside the Silent Raven on election night.
That's a real shame.
Are you saying you know nothing about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Not a thing. I've never even heard of the Silent Raven.
Is that right? Because I've spoken to at least 3 people who swore they saw you there that night.
Yeah, and you're not police, so that doesn't scare me. You can't do a thing about it.
This guy's starting to get on my nerves. There has to be a way to make him talk.
I hear you were arrested for leading a cooping gang. Is that right?
I don't have to tell you a thing. You're not a copper.
That's all the questions I have for now.
Good.
Alright, so we're gonna have to crack that guy. We have to break his psych lock somehow. Alright, to the church.
Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions. Heh, prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is gonna solve their problems. If only it were that easy. Also, what happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled? Shh. What? It's an important question. The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being canceled if the candles go out.
This seems like a mean thing to do. I don't want to do that. I'm not a religious man by any stretch, but like, that just seems shitty.
This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it. What a racket. I'm glad you're not a member of this church. Sitting through Sunday Mass would drive me insane.
Oh no! You should blow out the candles. Well, what if the other candles are the opposite of that?
What a racket.
I beg your pardon. Are you Tom Puffin?
I am. How may I help you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
That's
I
a
wanted to ask you
drawl.
a few questions.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply
Also,
believe
is
you
that
have
also
the
Joey?
information that I need.
Very well, then.
I think it might be. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god! Oh god, this guy's like, I want to say Post Malone. Is that his name? This guy's like the Post Malone of this world. Oh my god. Oh my god, he looks like a cut and paste of like 4 other characters put together. What is this?
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Wow.
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have
Yeah.
trouble
Hello,
recalling
Joey.
what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what happened 4 nights ago.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Do try to remember, Mr. Puffin. It's quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then, I'm not sure, actually.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
I
Is
don't
there something to do
remember.
with murder and
I
a
don't
raven?
think so, no.
How long were you at the Raven that evening?
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
Do you recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
Can anyone corroborate that story?
You recognize
I've
the
seen
man in
Law
this
and
photo?
Order.
Is that? No, never mind.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person then?
Afraid not. Who is he?
His name is, or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Those are all
Have you
distinct
found the drug
times.
has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be, but without it, I'm in constant pain.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then, my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. Poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
Given that this is like I don't know, 1890 or something thereabouts, they're probably just gonna give him laudanum, which is just a different kind of opium.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla? What does that have to do with anything?
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
He certainly seemed concerned about her, though.
How did you become choir master of this church?
Oh, well, I studied music at the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but
Possibly even
I
heroin.
had no
Yeah,
luck.
exactly.
So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I said a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members. I take my church duties very seriously.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, and that's
I'll
All right.
Thank you.
Well, we have to go be an asshole now.
Well, that's all of them. Hope you made a wish.
You're still talking. Listen, the story told us to do it.
Yeah. It seems that all the prayer candles have gone out.
Have they? Blast, I keep saying there's a draft, but nobody's done anything about it. Excuse me for a moment, won't you?
Absolutely.
Let's hope this chest...
Dearest Ned, your last letter made me giggle with delight. I just cannot stop dreaming of the day we can finally make our dreams come true and live together as man and wife. I think it would be just the most splendid idea to get a puppy. I've already begun thinking of names. How does Wuffy sound? All my love, obviously Priscilla. Who the fuck is Ned?
Could I have another moment of...
Yeah, stop playing that goddamn thing.
Do you know anyone named Ned?
Ned? Well, yes, I do. My nephew, Ned Bunkridge.
Your nephew?
Yes? Why do you ask?
Where might I find Ned? I'd like to speak with him.
Is everything all right? Ned hasn't gotten into any trouble, has he? I always tell him just because he's training his body, that's no excuse to pick fights.
No, he hasn't gotten into any trouble.
Oh, well, he lives in Lyon, at 511 Parkside Terrace.
Right. Thank you for the information.
Why was that paper there? Also, this guy kind of looks like that one person from Reno 9/11.
I'll let you resume your practice.
Thank you.
All right. Man, this map, this has got a lot of things.
Right this way, sir. Mr. Bunkridge.
Punchbot 3000.
Thank you, my good man.
Well, you take a look at this place, and take a look at him. Maybe you should consider doing some training yourself, Miles. You aren't getting any younger after all.
Funny you should mention that. So I bought a Ring Fit. The thing by Nintendo. Just recently. Got it, like, over the weekend, I think? Tried it out today. I'm out of shape. This is what I've realized. The Ring Fit is a real ass workout, which is not... I didn't know what I was expecting. But, woof. Squats suck, y'all. Squats are the devil.
What in the ether is that supposed to be? Looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Then again, so does most of his newfangled exercise equipment.
That's all. That's all that is.
This seems to be where Ned keeps his extra equipment, and assorted other garbage.
They say the shape rounds the shape. A classic joke.
Oh, look, maybe you can slip these on.
As long as you're in a shape that you're happy with, be whatever shape you want to be.
And after that expert knockout you delivered Officer Grant, he won't stand a chance. Some kind of martial art? Doesn't look like any I've ever heard of. Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next? Makes you wonder if old Nettie boy is at the end of his rope, too. Just...
Hey, can we talk to
Excuse me, Mr.
Good lord.
Hello. Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. Your valet let me in.
Right, of course. What can I do for you?
I have a few questions for you.
Hey, yo, your way.
Yes, all right. I could use a bit of a rest anyway.
I'm all muscles here.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
Never heard of him.
I have his portrait. Maybe you recognize him?
No, I've never seen this man before, but... Huh, how about that?
How about what?
The detail in this ferrotype is a bit fuzzy, but his facial features and hair, they vaguely resemble mine.
You know, now that he mentions it, it's true. Lespay does bear a passing resemblance to this fellow. Not quite as handsome, though.
Huh. So someone was trying to murder you.
So, you know nothing about the murder outside the Silent Raven 4 nights ago?
That's right. I don't even know what the Silent Raven is.
It's a bar in the Chum.
Well, that explains it. For one thing, I don't go to that part of town. A man like me sets foot in that den of ruffians, and I'll have every Tom, Dick, and Harry challenging me to a fight. Not that I couldn't take them, but I have
of course.
better ways to train my body than beating thugs.
Wait, are you Batman?
I don't drink. Dulls the mind and softens the body.
I see.
Now I'm just feeling
Just thought I'd
judged.
ask.
I'm sorry I can't help you, Mr. Fordham, but I hope you solve whatever it is you're investigating. You seem like a nice enough sort.
Tell me about your
Thanks.
You know Tom?
Sport.
I've met him, yes. He's the one who told me where you lived.
Oh, right. Well, my uncle is an interesting man.
He's
That
too
is
busy striking fear in the
interesting,
hearts of criminals.
Good or bad variety?
Getting criminals
I
to
really
swear
wish
to
he would
him.
take better care of himself is all. I have the feeling that he's on some sort of drug, although he always denies it.
What gives you that impression?
Well, most of the time he acts completely normal. He goes to work, visits with me. Sometimes we go out together to the theater or a gallery. But
Real
some
boys' night
days
out.
His mood changes. He goes very solitary, won't leave his house, gets short with me. One time I went to visit him. I heard him yelling along with what sounded like furniture being knocked about. It only happened once, but it worried me. I hope Tom isn't in any sort of trouble.
Opium is one hell of a drug. It's a good thing you never got to that point with the soporific, or Adelaide would have thrown you out much sooner.
Are you all right, Mr. Fordham?
Yes, I'm fine.
What? Too soon?
Did you give me Tom's address?
You don't have it? I thought you said you'd spoken with him.
I visited him at the cathedral.
But if he's there, why do you want his address?
I just wanted to look at his thing. Seems like a really shitty reason. I think just being honest?
I have reason to believe he may be somehow involved in a murder.
That's a serious accusation.
Nothing concrete just yet, which is why I'd like to investigate his home.
Well, you're not the police, so I'm not obligated to tell you.
That is
I'm
true.
sorry, but you'll need more.
Okay.
On sec.
We'll
Does
come
the
back
name
to that.
Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, it most certainly does. My lady love is named Priscilla Poundstone.
I see. What can you tell me about her?
Oh, she's a darling. I love her very much. Such a kind and gentle soul she is, too. Loves animals, especially dogs. We've been together for ages and are due to be married soon.
When's the last time you saw her?
Saw her? Oh, no, Mr. Fordham. She doesn't live in New Britannia. She attends Miss Threadneedle's Academy for Young Ladies in Cormorant.
She lives in New Holland?
That's right. I've never actually met Priscilla face to face. We
Oh,
communicate
no.
exclusively through correspondence.
How did you two get involved?
Her father and mine were old military friends. They decided between them that their children would be engaged.
And you're both in agreement?
Yes. I admit.
Catfished?
at first I was
Yeah,
a bit
almost surely.
hesitant. But we share many of the same interests.
Uh-huh.
The distance between us is not a detriment to our love.
I wonder how that will change once they actually begin cohabiting.
So you correspond regularly with Priscilla?
That's right. At least one letter a week. My uncle does me the kindness of acting as courier.
Do you think I might have a look at one of those letters?
What for? They're private correspondence.
I understand, but I feel this is important. Perhaps you could show me one that isn't too personal.
My girlfriend who lives in Canada.
Yes, I suppose that would be all right.
Her name is Alberta. She lives in Vancouver. She's my girlfriend, my wonderful girlfriend. Yes, I have a girlfriend who lives in Canada.
Not at all. I just want to have a look.
And I'm not singing the last line from that song.
You're very into physical conditioning, aren't you?
Oh, you noticed. Yes, I believe that a healthy body is just as important as a healthy mind, if not more so.
Well, he's
God, abs so big you could grate cheese on
It's
them.
important to keep fit, especially at a job like mine where I'm in a chair most of the day.
What job is that?
I'm a clerk at the Bank of Vespucci.
Of course you are.
But someday, I hope to leave and teach others about the health benefits of regular
CrossFit.
exercise. Perhaps even open
He's
up
gonna
my
open a
own
CrossFit gym.
gymnasium.
Ah, he actually thinks people are gonna go for that. Good luck to him.
Okay,
Thanks for your time.
Not a
Okay, so seek documents in the room, target hard pressure at the Bowser Gall. Speak to Ned Bunkeridge. That was this guy, right? This is Ned? Yeah. I mean, I guess we can just go ask.
About
what?
Yes, choir master, musician. He seems a very intriguing fellow. You said so yourself.
And how we'll go into his apartment and look.
I'll get.
You're an odd man, Mr. Ford. In fact, maybe you should just stay.
Ah, wonderful. Making.
Ah, hell. Hold on, do I have an autosave? Let's go back to that autosave.
Right this way.
Okay, so don't do that one. That was a bad one.
Excuse me.
Alright, we're just gonna scream through these.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Are you?
Do.
Tell me.
Okay, so we do this one. Yeah. Okay.
Does it?
Okay, correspondence. So.
Very.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for your.
okay. Put that one in there. Okay. So. Can we get anything more out of this guy yet? I don't know if we can.
No point asking.
Okay, that's what I thought. Alright.
Securely fastened, unfortunately for you. If secure.
We have a way of.
Is it just?
If there is, I have.
Okay. Alright.
Moment.
Right.
Storm drain. Okay,
Would you
now
be
I
able
can
to
do
remove
it.
The cover of a storm drain.
I had to look at the bolts.
Of course, sir. Cormac's got the right tool for the job. Just a few twists from old Mary here, and any drain will open up like a Christmas rose.
Excellent.
Phrasing, sir.
Would you be able to open the storm drain outside the Silent Raven?
Suppose so, yes. But Cormac ain't allowed to just open up drains as he sees fit. What do you want this drain open for?
I believe there's a vital piece of evidence at the bottom of the drain.
You don't say.
It's quite true. It may even help me solve a murder.
Well then, in that case, Cormac will get the drain open for you. Come on, there's not.
Glad we didn't have to like get a magnet on a string or something,
This
like a
it
hook.
then?
That's the one.
Right, won't be a moment. There we are.
Thank you for your help, Cormac.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, Cormac.
I'm on the clock, but whatevs. It's fine. Go get sauced, my man.
Detective work is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Don't forget to roll up your sleeve.
I really hope there's something down there.
Ooh, look at that animation.
This is almost as bad as the time I had to search for that stolen necklace in a pile of horse manure.
I'm really glad I didn't draw the short straw in that case.
Hey.
How about that?
That's a gun.
The police had found this, so I wouldn't have to carry it around.
Awkward. Yeah, gonna go tell Cormac to put the lid back on that thing when he's done.
Moment of your... Do you know anyone named Priscilla?
That's not...
Frankly, I'm
Thanks for your time.
Alright.
Excuse me. Is the name...
Nope.
I appreciate...
Yeah.
Alright. Now we go around and we talk to everyone about Priscilla.
I have a few...
I'm listening.
Goodbye,
Alright,
sir.
no. Don't care about you right now. Hey. Did that. Don't care about that yet. We'll circle back to him.
Hello, Jimbo. I have a...
All right.
Do we? You know Priscilla?
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Yes, that's my ship, the SS Priscilla.
I see. Did Ronan know about it?
Of course. He always used to ask me to bring him back some exotic souvenir.
Alright.
You're welcome.
I don't think the jilted ex-lover is the thing, but alright.
I was... Of course.
Anything useful? Nope.
Thank you.
Alright. Nothing there. Alright, police station. Let's go chitty chat with Dr. Deadbody here. Show him a gun.
Hard.
Yes.
Actually,
Edwards, you know much about the effects of opium?
Quite a great deal, unfortunately. It's all the rage these days. Most people use
Please, Dr. Deadbody was my father's name.
But it's highly addictive and has numerous adverse effects.
Such as?
It depends.
You can
really.
just call me
Most
Corpe.
common are sweating, nausea, memory loss, or blurred vision. But more serious
Blurred
cases
vision.
can lead to hallucination, violent mood swings, coma, or even death. I just had a case in here a few weeks ago who died from an opium overdose. It wasn't pretty.
Doesn't sound like it. Thanks for the information, Edwards.
Anytime.
Okay.
I found this pistol at the scene of the Bay crime. Did you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh. I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines.
Dude,
Did
the
I
fuck?
ever tell you about that post-mortem, by the way?
No. I certainly don't want to hear about it now. How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Okay.
Right. I've concluded my
Okay,
analysis,
good. We
and
just
this
Oh,
spun the
gun was
propellers on
definitely
that one.
used to shoot Mr. Lespay. The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to
You would kind of know that.
Thank you, Edwards.
Because a
Help
gun
is always
maker
appreciated.
would have something a bit more official in its construction, not just fucking scratched in there like
be going now,
a
Edwards.
tree
Take care,
in
Fordham.
teenagers with a pocket knife.
Miles, have you ever noticed that this Jimbo fellow fits the description of the man loitering outside the taxidermy
Oh,
shop?
his custom job?
The barmaid told us she saw someone matching that description at the Raven on election night. Not only that, Priscilla just so happens to be the name of the ship Jimbo works on. And the pistol used to murder Ronan has the initials JB etched on it. It could be a coincidence, but I think it's quite reasonable to consider him as a suspect.
Sure. But we've still got things to do. Okay, so Anything else I can get out of you? I don't think so, but... God, that curve bugs me.
Yes.
Do you have anything useful? Priscilla!
Did Ronan know anyone named Priscilla?
Priscilla? No, I never heard that name before. Who is she?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
I wonder if Ronan had finally met a young woman.
Kinda.
Oh, boy. Now you've done it.
Alright, so... No point, no point, nope. I don't think there's any point. Don't know if I can crack him yet, so let's go back to talk to Uncle... whatever the hell his name was.
Could I have another moment of your...
Mr. Puffin!
Yeah.
Okay, nope, nothing out of him. Okay. Doctor, the most common effects are... Oh, that's what we needed. We needed that piece of information. In order to get the dude's address. Just in case.
Could I ask... about your...
What if...
Wait. Is that not...
Yes. Choir match.
And your...
one.
Okay. Huh, I really thought that would be the thing. Alright, well, let's load that up. Pistol. Okay. We've only got the one suspect, which does not read true, because we still need to talk to dude and get the address. So we need to get information out of the dude at the go. Or the jail.
No point asking.
The hell am I missing?
Let's...
Okay. Maybe we talk to Upton for a second?
Can we talk?
Certainly.
Upton, what do you have on this Harvey Presser fellow?
Give me a moment, and I'll locate the arrest
Okay,
report.
Here
Here we are. He was picked up in a bar in Chumley after being identified as the leader of a cooping gang by one of his fellow gang members.
So much for loyalty. Anything else about him?
Not much besides his address.
That might be worth looking into.
Here we go.
It's 5885 Riverview Road, right near the asylum.
Ah, wonderful.
Cool.
Maybe afterwards you can drop by and pick out a room.
I'll let you get back to work.
And you...
Okay, yet another map point. Alright. Oh, hello.
Just a moment.
I did not expect a woman in heels.
Yeah? What do you want?
Ooh, she doesn't look like the type to take any guff. Better watch yourself, Miles.
Oh my god, do you sell vacuums?
Mrs. Presser, I'd like to speak with you about your husband.
Well, he's not here right now. He's been away for a few days, actually. Who are you exactly?
My name's Miles Fordham. I just have a few questions. I promise this won't take long.
All right, come in. But try and keep it down. My daughter isn't feeling well, and I don't want her being disturbed.
Alright. Their wee beady eyes.
She doesn't look so good. Some of those modern steam cleaners, if they use them in this place, they clearly aren't worth a damn.
Okay, judgy.
It seems peasant soup is on the menu tonight. Seems to be a notice from the bank threatening to foreclose on this place if they're late on their rent payment again. No wonder Harvey's taken a second job. A man's coat. Seems Harvey wasn't expecting to be out for very long. Presumably that goes into the presser's bedroom. Or it might be a closet. Or both.
And just to remind me, who the hell is who? Okay, don't have any of that. It's a nice cauldron. That's a great cauldron.
Mrs. Presser?
Yeah, what?
She talks like Cheryl's, what's her name? Cheryl, from Archer. What the hell is her last name? My brain is saying Hunt, but I don't think that's right. Presser's the gangster. Yeah, okay.
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Never heard of him.
And you've never seen the man in this ferrotype?
Nope. And I'm glad I haven't. Looks like a real pushover.
Okay, cool. Cool.
What does your husband do for a living, Mrs. Presser?
Harvey? He's a traveling salesman. Sells steam-powered cleaners like the ones in the corner there.
Oh?
Doesn't make much money on account of most people being afraid of steam tech these days. But Harvey tries his best to provide for me and little Mary. He's a good man. The job takes him out of town for days at a time, but we get by.
And that's all he does?
What are you asking? You know something I don't?
No, not at all. I was just curious.
Oh, look, another husband keeping secrets from his wife. There are a copper a dozen around here, it seems.
Awkward!
So what do you do while your husband's away?
Hang on there, what are you playing at? I'm a married woman.
Whoa, cheesy, crazy lady.
More about you, that's all.
Doth percent test too much.
Is that your game? Asking innocent ladies about themselves so you can have your way?
She doesn't have to worry about being mistaken for innocent, that's for sure.
No, you know what? Just forget I said anything. Is your daughter all right?
She's just come down with a bit of something. This stew I'm making will put her right again. I've been giving her regular doses of Pink Bladder's Miracle Tonic, too. I'm sure she'll be back to tearing the house down again in a matter of days. Ticks after her father, that one.
I don't have any more questions.
Good.
Alright. Cool. We're just gonna leave. This extremely angry woman. I'm not saying she isn't deserving of her anger, but she's very angry, and I don't want to mess with her.
A few more questions for...
Whatever you say.
I had a little chat with your wife. You have a lovely family.
Mildred? How did you...
I may not be with the police anymore, but that doesn't mean I can't still get the information I need.
You didn't tell her about me being in jail, did you?
Don't worry. It was quite obvious your wife has no idea what you're involved in. As a man who values discretion, I thought it best not to shatter her illusions.
That's awfully decent of you.
Of course, I might change my mind, unless you start to cooperate.
That's awfully decent of you. Pulling the rug out from under your feet.
Just leave my family out of it.
Do you recognize the man in this ferrotype?
Yes, I do. That's Mr. Lespay.
And how is it you know him?
I was assigned to watch him and then pick him up on election night.
Assigned? By whom?
My employer. I'd really rather not name names, Mr. Fordham.
I don't care about your employer. What I care about is what you were doing with Mr. Lespay.
Well, it was a cooping scheme. He was one of the people I was told to pick up.
Why?
Tell me what you know about the murder outside the Silent Raven.
The most important thing I can tell you is that I didn't kill him.
Do you know who did?
Not a clue. I was inside the bar when I heard the gunshot. I went outside to see what had happened and found Lespay on the sidewalk.
And what happened next?
What do you think? I panicked. He was in my care. I wasn't expecting anyone to get killed.
I think Mr. Presser has a wildly different definition of the word care.
I went inside and gave the barmaid 10 crowns to keep her mouth shut. Clearly, that was money misspent. Then I went back home. Told my wife I was going away on a business trip for a few days, just in case. Good thing I did, too. I might get out of this with her none the wiser.
Well, what makes you so sure they'll let you out?
Me? I'm just a small fish, but I could talk and talk about whales. That's valuable information.
Quite the shrewd negotiator, this one. I think his skills have been wasted.
Is this your first time in jail?
Yeah, actually. Suppose you think I'm just some criminal scum, born for the gibbet? I'm not a bad man, Mr. Fordham. I just made some mistakes. You've met my family. I'd do anything for them. Anything.
I suppose no good deed goes unpunished.
You can say that again.
Tell me more about this cooping scheme.
I got paid to find men to vote for Atwood. Simple, really. Once I
Wait,
found a
to
good
vote
mark, I
for
followed him a
Atwood?
bit, knocked him out, then took him to the coop, a little room I rented near the Raven. I had about 5 men on election night, including Lespay. Got them all liquored up and walked them over to the polls.
Once each of them voted, we'd walk back over to the coop. I'd change their clothes, maybe give them a fake beard, and walk back for another vote. Did it for myself, too, so people would be less likely to notice. Kept it up for a few hours, until the murder.
That's all the questions I have for now.
Good. Leave me in peace.
We still got this one to do. We don't have anything.
Could I ask you?
All right.
How do you feel about?
I'm disappointed. Atwood may not have been the greatest PM. Sure, the Lygia incident was. It's a shame.
I agree. Technological advancement doesn't come. About
what?
Okay. Could I consult the spirits and find out why I can't get this dude's address? Like, what did I do wrong here?
On second thought. Thanks for your.
Because that's not gonna work. So what did I screw up here? Or what little thing am I missing? Because we already know that that answer is not going to get us what we want.
I have a.
I'm listening.
So
please don't. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic?
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr.
Tell him I suspect things. Okay, hold on.
So,
All right.
Leroy.
Oh,
I'll let you resume.
thank.
But I did that thing. Or maybe I shouldn't have said he was infirm. No, wait, what? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
I know what you mean.
I couldn't agree more. Next,
I doubt it.
perhaps we should drop the sub.
Thank you for your.
I mean,
Hello, Jimbo.
All right.
Do you have any?
Not really. Anyway, I can't vote.
But you're still affected by the decisions.
Not very fair.
No, I suppose. Thank you for your.
You're what?
Okay. For sure I'm done talking to him. Oh, there's nothing here. Walkthrough says don't tell him you suspect something. Don't tell him you want to look at his things. Like, yeah, I did that.
Empty safer.
Oh, hold on. Gerald and I will be celebrating the new year and would like to invite you to some of those. Please feel free to bring a guest you like, especially any lady friends you might have. Okay. Some letters. With regards to your request for an extension to pay this month's rent, I'll gladly give you until next month. You have always been a reliable tenant who has paid on time, so don't be concerned. Alright. I say we all go through financial difficulties, but I'm afraid I can't extend my generosity beyond the end of 2 months. Okay.
A model of the S. It's in.
Alright. There's nothing else here. I don't understand. Is there nothing else? Because like there's nothing else for me to work through here.
Certain.
That it was.
I can't say I agree, but I'm not really surprised. Leroy may have started his punt.
Yes, well.
Okay, yeah.
I'm guessing.
I have. So I can still try and.
I'll let you get back.
And you.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
There was an election.
I think our friend Edward.
I'll be going.
Take care, for.
Fair enough.
No point. Oh, and after that, I don't. What in? Then I.
Could I ask about
what
on site?
I don't understand. Because I know I can't ask him the address and it's gonna cut me off. So like, what's going on? It's possibly already messed up? I guess so. That sucks. I want to redo case 4. I needed stuff about the opium before you asked. That's kinda shitty, if that's actually how it gets blocked out. No, so the way this game works, you know, is there are ways that certain things can be blocked off, but usually you have to screw up, like, pretty obviously. Like, it's much like, as an example, asking about Tom's address and just wanting to get to know him better. Like, obviously, yeah. Or, if you, like, I know in this case, if we were to have told the opium place, hey, like, I'm a cop, let me in, then no, you don't get in. This feels almost like a bit of a bug, because I definitely have the information. I just got it after asking one thing, and now that doesn't open up anymore. Game's been pretty clear about locking you off if you say the wrong things. Sure. Yeah, the thing I asked earlier and then got the info. So I guess, like, yeah, that maybe that blocked it off, but, like, if that's it, that sucks.
Thanks for
not.
Because I don't have an earlier... Where's this autosave? I'm curious where this is. Yeah. Well, that sucks. I guess I just don't get to do this case properly. Because like a whole section of this story is just being cut out. You can still complete this case successfully? How so? I only have one suspect, so you're telling me that it was that guy? Like, is he actually the murderer? But I just cannot say anything more. Well, buddy, I've only got one suspect. So, honestly, Pokemon Free, at this point, you may as well just say, is that actually the successful thing? If you want to put two and two together, that's on you. Well, I don't have any other options. I've literally exhausted everything else. Like, the only thing I can do is speak to Ned Bunkeridge. But, that's not going to get me anything. So all I can do is speak to him and get locked out to that. So all I can do is accuse Jimbo. So, alright. That's irritating. That was a weird way to lock me out of that whole section.
You got time?
Yes, of course.
I've completed.
You have.
It was James Bogroff, commonly known as Jimbo. He's a sailor aboard the SS Priscilla, and up until recently, he was Ronan's lover.
His lover? You mean Ronan was?
Yes, it seems Ronan was leading a secret life.
So why did he do it? Why did Jimbo kill Ronan?
I believe it was a crime of passion, Mrs. Morgan. Ronan believed Jimbo had been seeing someone else. It was quite possible that they had a heated argument which went very wrong, and Ronan wound up dead.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
My poor brother. So what happens now?
Now I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Mr. Bogroff. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
Begging your pardon, folks, but I'm looking for a James Bogroff, also known as Jimbo.
That's me, officer.
Mr. Bogroff, I'm placing you under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? But I didn't...
I suggest you remain silent until we get to the station for your questioning. Now come along, we haven't got all day.
You know, Miles, you've been coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum. What's going on?
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been honest with my wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better, but only if you let yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely up to you. Now, would you like another gin?
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way. I should go and see how my wife is doing.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles. And good luck to you.
Who in the ether? Miles? This is a surprise.
Okay, before we go on, so Pokemon Freak, you said I could complete the case successfully. Now, having actually selected some dude for murder that I don't think did it, what's the actual answer to that? Since you have the walkthrough in front of you. We've already gone through it, and somehow I got locked out of a thing. Through some frustrating sequence issues. I'm curious, who actually did do the thing? Because I don't think it was him. No idea. What? Okay, who can be accused? Jimbo and Churchy McChurchface. Oh, those are the options? No, there are good endings and bad endings. Hold on. Hold on. Lamplight City. Case for ending. God, that sound is awful, but here we are. Just talked up and watched the arrest. Lack of trust is disturbing. It's not lack of trust, I just don't understand how, like, it's just like, no.
Addie, it's so good to see you. I've been such an idiot lately.
Well, I'm glad you can admit to it. Would you like to come in?
Very much.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we're just fessing up.
I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it's time I finally told you the truth.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
Oh, the achievements are Jilted Lover, accused Jimbo of murdering Darren Lespe, or Mistaken Identity, accused Tom Puffin of murdering Lespe, so, Okay. I'm gonna bring this up in the Discord. I am in the Discord for the people who are person that made this game. And I'm gonna bring that up there as just a question of like, hey, so I wasn't able to do this thing? What up? And I'm sure it's a sequence issue of like, I didn't get the opium information until after I had said a thing. But it feels weird that I can't bring that up as an option of like, listen, pretty sure he's all up in opium, and this is why, and I would like to confirm that. Like, it seems odd that that doesn't come up as an option once you get the information. So I don't know if that's possibly a bug or just a decision. I'm curious to find out. Make sure to go and get the opium info first. Yeah, see, like, okay, but that doesn't... Yeah, that doesn't grok to me. So, I'm gonna ask the developer that. I'm curious as to the reasoning behind that. Whatever, it's done. I could only accuse Jimbo anyways, so we're doing it. We did it. I've been hearing Bill's voice since he died.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Yes, in my head, at all hours. That's why I was taking the soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd think I was crazy.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
I understand. Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Addie.
Hooray!
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Hooray!
Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Right. I'll see myself out then.
Good night, Miles.
It's quite the sigh. We're in this together, but also you need to stay on the street. Exactly.
Fordham, wake up.
Yeah.
He just leapt over the side. I don't... Oh, Upton. What's going on?
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
I've been sleeping in a chair
Got some
for
trouble
weeks.
Sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important to show you.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing information now, are you going to tell Upton about me as well?
Oh, so the voice in my head's angry. Okay, great.
What is it?
There's been a murder.
Uh-huh.
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of parliament, a man named
Ooh.
Percival McDonough, to be precise. But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
The Justice Killer? Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very
Very same.
Why
Yeah.
Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about melodramatic.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
Not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
You took crime scene sketches from the department?
Of course not. I made copies with the station's Pharaoh duplicator. These killings need to stop.
Yeah,
and
5th
I
victim,
believe
5th
you
case,
can
yeah.
succeed where the department has so far
Yeah.
failed.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
It's a shot in the dark. I can't guarantee I'll find anything the police didn't see, but it's worth a look.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
Okay, so here we go. This. And I'm interested. I just want to see the sketches. Okay. Okay. Yep, there's very obviously something in all of them.
Whoever drew this was a hack. That looks more like a piece of toast than a flower.
They've all got flowers.
Oh, were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any.
They're all the same victim.
I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now. I'm really not... Boring, just like everything else in this sketch.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked. Boring.
This is gonna be a wonderful case. Yeah, with the voice in my head's all
Upton?
pissed off at me.
What?
About those...
Yes?
I think I found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. 1 lily at each scene.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers, they're lilies. Easter lilies, I think.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice. At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic, but now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the justice killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Phrasing.
Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
What exactly are the details regarding this justice killer?
The killings began a few months ago, and so far he's claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
What can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause. No known connection
Fuck
between any of them
burly
aside
cause.
from the borough they lived in. I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton.
Okay. Okay.
What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself. Everything all right with you?
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things to go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
You're starting to sound like Adelaide. I should get back to it.
Not a...
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Odd. I wasn't expecting company.
Oh, put the fucking sketches away.
Chief Snelling?
Uh-oh.
Upton, we need to talk. Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
Okay, how much of an asshole do we want to be? From 0 to 100. You're up to no good? Oh, that's very good. It's like, shouldn't you be trying to catch a justice killer?
Ah, Chief Snelling. What a pleasant surprise.
I'm equally pleased to see you, Fordham. Although, having you here does save me a bit of trouble.
Trouble?
Those are some rather interesting decorations. Would either of you care to explain how they got here?
And once again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
These all suck. Now, here's the thing. I know... Kit Kat, hello. 75, how's it going? Let's see this game again. Yeah, we're just coming up at the end of the stream, and also a weird frame drop event. So hey, sorry. I know this is actually a super important decision, but I don't know which is the correct option. I know if I throw Upton under the bus, that's bad. But I don't know what happens if I just say I stole them. Pretty sure I just get arrested. This one is important. Chief will know if you lie. I 100% know that saying I told Upton it was wrong to take those sketches is bad. Yeah, sorry. Hey, actually, hold on. K-Cat, since you've obviously played this game, I have a question for you. About the end of Case 4, which we've just completed, and as such is no longer spoiler territory. If you're willing to answer. Hey, but have you solved all the cases yet? I have not solved Case 5, which we're on. We just finished Case 4. Sure. Quite frankly, because of a very weird sequence issue, I was locked out of one part of Case 4, which prevents me from being able to accuse a second person. So I'm literally just curious if Jimbo was the correct choice, or in my case was the only choice. That's all. Aw, come on, Burger Ford into 206. Try a little harder. Okay, so I know this is an important decision. These are all a lie. So all of these are untrue. So which is the worst of the two options? If I remember case 4. Case 4 had the opium, the cooping scheme. I don't know what decision to make. And I didn't get an opportunity to save. I really don't want to screw this up. You would cover for Upton? So are you saying I would steal from them myself? I stole them myself? That's where I'm leaning to. Yeah. Alright.
I brought them here, after I made duplicates and took them from the police department.
Nice try, Fordham. The Ferroduplicator makes a report of a rather useful feature, for instance.
These gadgets are gonna be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information. Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right? Personally, I don't consider getting your partner killed the mark of a great detective. But what's done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Britannia Police Department is hereby terminated.
But
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you. But as for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police investigations. Do you have anything to say in your defense before I take you in for questioning?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the Justice Killer is.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
And the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you gonna let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Fine.
Yes.
I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar and the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible.
Howdy, Rocket.
I'll give you until
I picked Jimbo for case 4. Yes.
If you haven't come
That was
up
my
with
only
anything,
option.
I'm throwing you in jail.
Sounds fair
Oh
to me.
my god, is this literally the
clever
plot
ideas about
to
leaving
Zootopia
town
now?
either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now.
Jimbo was the
When
right
you have
option.
something
Alright.
to report, come find me in my office.
We could have picked
Don't make me
Unsolvable.
regret
No, we
this.
cannot. That is not a selection for me. How dare.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink.
That's fair.
I'll see you later, Fordham.
Not solved. Oh, the case leads to bad
Better get
endings.
to
I
work
can only
then.
imagine.
The clock is ticking.
Alright. Alright, we are gonna... What do we call this one? Oh. Okay. Get fucked, Snelling. That is a good option, too. That is also a very good option. Alright. Okay, so we kind of squeaked a little bit into Chapter 5, but that really was kind of unavoidable with the way that whole scene played out, so that's alright. I'm still a little irritated by that one thing getting locked out, so I'm gonna ask in the Discord just because I'm that guy. But apparently Jimbo was the correct option, so we managed to squeak through anyways. I just don't like not seeing part of it, you know? Like, we're missing out on content as a result of it, which sucks, but I guess it is what it is. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me tonight. So next week possibly should be the last case in the finale of Lamplight City. I still love the concept of the game story. I hope the Justice Killer is the anthropomorphic representation of your failing marriage. Yikes, dude, yikes. Also, maybe. Well, as I'm beating him to death, I'm just like venting all my frustrations about my marriage. Yikes. Love the concept of the game story. Yeah, I would agree. I actually like the idea of getting locked out. I just don't want to be locked out. I don't want it to happen to me. I want it to happen to other people. I want to play the game perfectly. Yeah, next week, same bad time, same bad channel. We will get through case 5. I will be back tomorrow with leading you to a Chuck Tingle novel. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The anthropomorphic representation of your failing marriage is my lover. Sure, why not? Never heard of Chuck Tingle? You've never heard of Chuck Tingle books? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. You're in for a treat. He also helped make a dating novel game, right? With oh, what the hell's her name? Zoe Quinn. Yeah, he consulted on a Zoe Quinn novel as well, as I recall. Or worked with her, I can't remember the exact details. Harriet Porber and the Bad Boy yeah. Oh, his books are absolutely ridiculous. It's just like 100% utterly ridiculous. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me tonight. I will be back tomorrow with more indie games. Don't know what ones they're gonna be, but hey, we'll get there. And I don't have anything lined up for Friday. I actually have to find a new game to play on Friday. So, if you happen to be in my Discord, feel free to drop suggestions, I guess. Or I'm just gonna pull something out of my backlog, because God knows I've got a bunch. It's a shame because I wanted to see Will Wheaton as Handsome Map and Mara Wilson as someone else, yeah. No, that's for Wednesday. We don't play the indie games on the Fridays. But yes, that is a tool that Pokemon Freak made. If you got the Racial Justice Bundle from Itch last summer. It's an excellent tool. I literally use it every Wednesday to get the new games. It's actually been invaluable, so if you have that bundle, I would recommend that tool. But no, for Friday, like for my Friday just kind of long plays, I just don't have anything lined up yet. Usually I have something, but I have to look through the game pile. In any case, that's gonna do it for me tonight. This looks like bad Photoshop, and I love it. They all look like bad Photoshops. That's the thing. Like, Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt is literally a Chuck Tingle book. That's a real ass thing. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me tonight. So, until next time, as always, thank you for watching, and it's because they are bad Photoshops, exactly. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, wear your goddamn mask, get your vaccines if you can, and I will see you later.